Welcome to the check-in, ladies and gentlemen. Today's topic we have: the modern woman is tired, aggy of the old ways. And what are the old ways, ladies and gentlemen? We know the old ways, like your grandmother. Not your grandmother that's only 20 years old, but your great grandmother. That grandmother that's probably, passed on by now, or maybe she's in an old folks home. We're talking about honorable women. We're talking about women who cooked for their men. We're talking about women who cleaned for their men. We're talking about women who stayed home to take care of the children. We're talking about traditional women. I find myself watching these videos of these women that are in their 20s and their 30s, and most of them they're past their prime, but they have the nerve to be saying that they're done with the old ways of things, the old ways. They're dating and they're not having any success, but they're tired of the old ways. You would think that if you're not having success, you would probably change your ways, but the modern woman. So we're going to get into the video of this modern woman saying that she's done with the old ways. So let's get into it.
Nothing. We're not bringing nothing to relationships for centuries, decades.
All right, I have an issue already. She's talking about we're not bringing nothing to relationships. And I think it's kind of funny that she's just laying down. I mean, it don't look like you have anything to bring right now. I mean, you're not doing anything productive. You're just laying down, and I mean, like, you don't look like you have anything to bring to the table anyway. So, but I mean, she's saying, I think it's quite interesting that she's saying that we're not bringing anything to the table. There's a system called the barter system, and I want people to look this up. It's called the barter system. And this is how people survive. Not just men, but women. See, back in the day, a man would be making good amount of money, and he'll find a woman that's, a good cook, or that's a woman that could take care of children, or a woman that is, honorable and righteous, and a woman that wants to build something with a man, and they would barter with each other. They would barter for my stability, my stability as a man, and we can barter for you taking care of my children, being my helpmate. Another thing, I want women to, I want women to really research what is the purpose of a woman. And this is for women that are believers. I want you to look up the purpose of a woman. What is the biblical person? If you're an atheist, if you're a non-believer, maybe you're in a different sector of belief. Maybe you subscribe to a different type of religion. But I'm mostly talking to the Christian women. What is the purpose of a woman? I can tell you the purpose of a woman. In the Bible, you are a helpmate. You are supposed to be a helpmate to your man. You're not here to go away from the old ways and do what you want to do and be a feminist and start shaking your neck and twerking your neck and with your lips poked out. These are not the ways. How can you claim to be a Christian woman? Because we know black women are in the Christian church. But here they have these views, these secular views. Let's get back into the video.
We've seen our grandmothers, our mothers, our great aunts give everything and get nothing.
Now let me stop you right there. Gotta stop you right there. I think it's quite interesting that modern women who have nothing to bring to the table think that they have the leverage with men today to say we've seen our mothers or we've seen our aunts and our grandmothers suffer and get nothing, and they think that they can come with nothing when these women 40, 30 years ago had something. So you coming to the table with nothing to leverage. You're trying to leverage with nothing, but the women back in the day had something to at least have something to leverage with. And I think that these women are just really confusing because the women back in the day did receive something. They received protection as a woman. They received homes. They received marriages. You're gonna tell me that a woman that was married, that's an elder woman, you trying to tell me that she didn't benefit from being in a marriage and taking care of her children? Here you are, here, born here. You are a product of that marriage of your grandparents. You're a product of that. You probably grew up in a house. You probably grew up. Your mother probably fucked it up. She was probably a single parent woman, and she probably fucked it up for you. She probably put those thoughts into your head. But here you are, going in on your great grandmother, going in on your aunts, because they chose to be respectable women. They chose to take care of their kids. They chose to be real women. And you got these women here that have nothing to bring to the table. Nothing. Nothing to bring to the table. Just, I'm here. I'm here. We're gonna have sex, and you're just gonna be around. You're just gonna take me out to dinner every day, and you have nothing to bring to the table. Nothing. Most people bring something to the table. When you come to a barbecue, let's say a barbecue, most people, hey man, you don't gotta bring the hamburgers. Just bring some water. You ain't gotta bring you ain't gotta bring the drinks. Just bring the ice for the drinks. Most people bring something to the table. You don't come to a home empty handed. You don't come to a housewarming party empty handed. But here you have these modern women thinking that they could bring nothing. And then the crazy thing about them, none of them have success in their relationship. We've seen these women. They go on and they complain about men. They complain about not having, great dating options. Remember this. Black women are one of the highest rates of single mothers, and they're in the top. They're in the top of the women that are undateable. There are so many single black women out here, but they think that they can just, no, we're not gonna be complacent. Listen. What worked for your mother, not I can't even say what worked for your mother, because reality, these women, they come from single parent homes. None of these women, they don't come. See, these types of women, they had good grandparents. Good grandparents. They had grandparents that stayed together, stayed the course. That grandmother stayed home, took care of her children. That grandfather went to work, took care of his children, provided. See, but what came out of that marriage was maybe not a woman that wanted to do what was right. And she probably went off and thought it off and had a few babies, and then you get a woman like this, and she's teaching a woman like this. It's sad. It's sad. With nothing to bring to the table, nothing to bring to the table, but think that you could barter with men that have something.
So, for the first time in history, we're saying no. You don't get a free incubator. You don't get a free maid. You don't get a free chef. We're saying,
But you have none of those talents. And that's another thing with women. These women think that, oh, you don't get this, you don't get that. Are you? Do you do respectfully? Respectfully, because I've been to a lot of women houses, a lot of modern women houses. They don't know how to clean. They don't know how to clean a home. They don't know how to cook. I have been in with a lot of women that I've been to their home and I've offered to cook. These women don't like to cook. They don't have a recipe book. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean a home. So they're talking about skills that they don't have. You're telling a man, that has something going for himself, has something, has options, has other women and other cultures that are willing to work with him, and you're coming with nothing, offering nothing. And then you wonder why you have so many single black women, because this is the attitude. This is the nonsense that they're pushing. Why? Why? You know, we all have roles. All of us have roles. As men, we have roles. If you're a married woman and you're laying in bed with you and your husband, your kids are in the other room and they're fast asleep, and you hear breaking glass downstairs, and you hear someone stomping their boots, and it sounds like there's an intruder in the home. Whose role is it to get up? As a woman, as a woman, in your nightgown, with your feathery slippers, in your bra and panties, are you expected to go downstairs and to check on the intruder? Or do you expect your man to take the role and to protect his family? These women are bonkers. But when we get to the female role, they get confused. They don't want to take that role. But we all have roles. We all have responsibilities in a relationship. We all have roles. And women like this, they're never going to get married. They're never gonna have successful relationships. They're never going to get to that level because they're ignorant. They're complacent in their ignorance. And a life of negativity and complacent ignorance is more beneficial to them than a successful relationship in having a role. You have nothing to offer. You have nothing to leverage with. What makes you think that you could look at a woman from 40 years ago that had the cooking skills, had the home ec skills, had the cleaning skills, had the ability and the thought and the common sense, had the skills of how to take care of children, think that you could be on their level somehow and leverage your way with nothing to bring? This is the idiocy of the modern woman. This is the ignorance of the modern woman. Complete clown cake. And that's me. That's True and Living, man. Thank you for joining me. Going in on the modern woman. You can call me Kevin Samuels Jr. I'm out, though. Let's go.